Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. We have some more news today, so quite a bit of excitement around this particular reveal for Mattel. We'll get to it here in a moment, but before we get to that, we're going to talk about Dino Dream, and as you can see, we have this nice image here kind of giving us yet another sneak peek of the upcoming officially licensed Jurassic Park Compsognathus model that they are releasing. I'm actually really hyped about this. Again, I have the older compies from Dino Dream, and I love them, so I'm really hyped to have a really cool high-quality version of a compy diorama, something I've never really seen before released by most companies. And speaking of compies, we have a look at another upcoming Compsognathus from Rod's Random Work, basically the pose, also a potential coloration, because you can buy them, I think, maybe unpainted, and he might have them at some point painted up by him, but I don't know for sure if that's going to be the case, so don't hold me to that. But I know for sure you will be able to buy them unpainted, and maybe you want to go this route as far as the coloration goes, because it's kind of like a Camp Cretaceous sort of coloration. But you can see, again, a totally different pose, and I think it's really cool that Rod is creating the compies with different poses, allowing you to buy numerous of those Compsognathus from him, and you could basically create an entire little pack or an entire little flock, whatever you want to call it, of Jurassic Park style compies to add to your collection. Definitely really, really cool stuff from Rod's Random Work as always. And then when it comes to the beasts of the Mesozoic, we have a reveal here for the paint scheme of the Achillobator, and man, honestly, these just keep getting better and better. The Utah Raptor reveal a few days back absolutely blew my mind, but somehow this might be just as beautiful, maybe even a little bit more beautiful than the Utah Raptor. The coloration looks extremely lifelike, extremely realistic, completely natural on this, and I'm a massive fan of what I see here on this figure. Definitely, again, another absolute must-have from the Beasts of the Mesozoic. Also, I wanted to show you guys the completed Tyrannosaurus bust coming from Shane Folks and the Cretaceous Creations of America, giving you an idea of what it's going to look like and just how beautiful it is. I think it's great overall, extremely highly detailed as everything that's sculpted by Shane Folks is, but definitely a really nice, very large bust that we'll be releasing with a Triceratops bust as well from Shane Folks very soon. On top of that, Ancestors line has just revealed this image showing that we will have another version of Hank, the Tyrannosaur from Prehistoric Planet, coming soon from them, but obviously we had a swimming version before. If you happen to have caught my review for that, we will now have kind of a standing version. No word exactly yet if this is going to be the pose, if it's just kind of a stagnant pose, or if there's going to be some sort of a movement occurring, like a walking movement or whatever, but we can now officially say that we will have a standing version of the Tyrannosaur from Prehistoric Planet coming from Ancestors line as well at some point in the near future. And then as far as the Mattel line goes, I want to give a huge shout out to Dan Surprise for supplying me with these images, but we have a few Fierce Changer figures to take a look at. Something that, isn't really the greatest line that Mattel has ever created, and something that I'm not all that excited about in general, but, they're okay, I guess, if you are a fan of kind of transforming dinosaurs. But we have the Giganotosaurus and Triceratops Fierce Changer, and it's interesting. I will say the Giganotosaurus version looks kind of fun, and I do quite like the Giga from Jurassic World Dominion, but again, these just aren't really doing it for me overall. They're not the worst thing I've ever seen, that's for sure, but also not something I'm absolutely aching to get in my collection. And then there is also going to be the Indoraptor and Brachiosaurus. And I think, again, the Indoraptor does look really cool, but the Brachiosaurus looks kind of goofy. Definitely not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but I'm sure there is a market for it out there. Some people will probably like this kind of stuff. I may or may not grab some of these when I see them. I'm not entirely sure. Knowing me, I probably will, but regardless, this one might be my favorite of them all because I just really quite like the look of the Indoraptor, and odds are, at the very least, I'll grab this one and probably the Carnotaurus. And then a huge thank you goes out to both Collect Jurassic as well as Dino Mike Mac for these images, but we have a look at the Nigersaurus coming from Mattel, and I think it actually looks a lot better here than I was initially expecting it to. Like, the fact that it kind of has, like, the second half unpainted sort of look that a lot of Mattel figures have. I mean, initially it kind of bothered me, but looking at it here, it's not near as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think the sculpt looks really quite nice. Definitely kind of has like a decent tail length and everything on it. Pretty okay looking paint job that, again, I think looks a little better than I thought it was going to. So this is definitely one that I'm excited about. Really can't wait to actually see this one in hand sometime soon. And the final thing that we have is a pretty big reveal for Mattel, and one that I was really excited to see. We have the super colossal Indoraptor. And again, this is thanks to Collect Jurassic, who supplied us with these images, but it looks really cool. This is something that I was pretty hyped for because I'm a big fan of the Indoraptor itself, and also a pretty big fan of the Colossal series from Mattel, and I have each and every one of the Colossal figures so far, so I was pretty excited to see this one, and definitely intend on picking this one up, even though I don't really have the room for another Colossal figure because they're just so huge, and they just take up so much room, but I really can't say no to an Indoraptor again from Mattel, especially a Colossal version. So another definitive purchase for me. No word quite yet on when this will actually be releasing, but when it does, I'll definitely have a review up here on my channel. So as of right now, guys, that's all the news I've got. When more comes out, I'll be sure to send it your way, but until then, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.